Alright, so I just finished walking a job not too long ago with a septic guy, and he pretty much laid out the septic system. So right now I'm in the trailer trying to make a rough draft of the area that I have cleared that I'm going to be building the log cabin on. So this is a really rough draft, but I drafted a little sketch here of the footprint of the log cabin. So I am going to zoom in a little bit more so you can see. So basically, these are the corners of the cabin, and there's a bump out here in front. I'll give more detail on that, but that's going to have like a lot of glass and everything on the front of it. But that roughly comes out 10 feet, and then you have 16 feet here, 25 feet for the width of the cabin, and 56 feet here on the back side. So depth, so this is depth and this is the back side. But overall numbers, including the deck, so I'm going to have pretty much a wraparound deck that's going to go around the cabin. So that is roughly 7 feet in depth, and that's going to, like I said, go around the perimeter of the cabin. I always love to see, yeah, the cabin and having the wraparound deck, so you can pretty much go wherever you want, depending where the sun is, where the sun's setting, and yeah. Kids and dogs can run around and have fun, and you know, it's always one of those things I like as far as a feature to really use the deck a lot. So if you need something to go around the back, you bring it up to the front and just move it around, so you don't have to go in the house and then back through the back door. So but overall dimensions here, 70 feet including the deck, and rough 49 feet, roughly 50 feet here. So this is pretty much a design that I found online. I really like the finished product, so I'm not sure if this is going to be what I'm going to go with as a final, but it's good enough to start to do an initial layout on the on paper and in the field. So it's a definitely odd shaped clearing that I did, but this is the area that's level, so I'm using this, and the cabin is going to go somewhere. It's not to scale, but I'm going to actually see if I can draw it to scale, or as close to scale as possible. So more than likely the back of the cabin is going to be roughly around here, and then it'll face out this way, and my driveway is comes up to the clearing here. So it's going to be a good amount of area for a meadow, and around the back is another nice meadow as well. And the question now is, where do I put the septic? So right now it is laid out 20 feet by 40 feet here, so I have to make sure that that's going to be in line with the bathroom. The master bath is going somewhere in this corner, so I have to go back out there and pretty much get a line across the I would say before, you know, the most narrow point as far as where I'll start, to make sure I'm off of that point. So when I put the cabin, it won't be at the tightest point of the clearing, or one of the tightest points in the center of the clearing. So I'll move it here somewhere where this rip is. But yeah, so it's one of those days that takes a little more brain power than actually going out and moving stuff. So as you can see from the view here, yeah, it's pretty level, and still has a lot of brush and everything on it, but it's minor stuff that I need to get a mini excavator to clean up a little more. But it all depends on the elevation, so some area is going to have to backfill, so I'll go through that as well. But yeah, so when I'm done, you're going to see a nice hand sketch of the property, the cleared area of the property, and yep, have a nice layout of the footprint of the log cabin here, and I'll show where the septic system's going. And then there's actually a tank as well, so that tank needs to be 8 feet off the cabin foundation, and the septic, the leach field, has to be 20 feet off the foundation. So something to figure out, and yeah, layout. So let's go outside. It's in the afternoon now, but I'm gonna go outside and see if I can drive a couple of stakes and see how everything starts to shape up. Okay, so my objective right now is to take some of these stakes and go ahead and establish a line. Basically, this looking this way will be the back of the clearing, and looking this way will be the front of the clearing. This will be where the front of the log cabin faces, and I have a porch pretty much around the exterior, the entire exterior wraparound, but this is the main focal point for, you know, basically to see a view, see the meadow, and yeah, and this is pretty wide. It's around between 220 to 230 feet. Pretty much where you see that, not sure if you can see it, but that white pine there, the largest tree, and it has a doubled up ribbon on it, right in line with either that blue flag that I have, or those two tall maple that are right next to each other here. That's going to be pretty much, I'm going to put some stakes in to see how it looks and how it feels, because there's really no reference point. So this is going to be one of my first reference points as far as laying out the cabin. So yeah, so right now the midpoint is somewhere right where this measuring wheel is. So yeah, as I look to my left, I see those trees, and I look to my right, I see this large tree here. So I'm going to pick the center point here, and then the back of the cabin, it's roughly 50 feet, so I'm sorry, 70 feet. So I'll go ahead and do 35 feet off of this center point, and this will be pretty much as far back as I want to go with the cabin. I may go further back, but right now I'm just feeling it out, and there is definitely ledge. You know, I call it bedrock, but ledge is what the local folks call it. Here underneath all these logs, it goes across, yeah, probably right to that mound there. It's hard to see, but there's a little mound there, right there. So this is, you know, maybe 6 inches of topsoil, and then it's ledge underneath. So this is the highest point as far as on the clearing. So that's why you see this this blue ribbon here. The bottom of it is pretty much the top, the highest point of the ledge. So that's going to be what I have to work with now. So yeah, let me set this up and start driving some stakes. Again, this is very rough, definitely not precise at all, but it's just to get a feel. You know, sometimes when you have some marking points and you have them up for a little while, you get more accustomed to them. So you'll be able to, ooh, that's ledge. Oh my goodness. Yes, sir. Either that's a rock or it's ledge. So whew, this should be interesting. Roughly here, that's my tree, and oh yeah, some of the posts as well. Okay, so I'm back, and look what I found. 300 footer. So this is long enough to make it from one end of the clearing to the next. So I'll look for something to tie off with and stop driving myself absolutely nuts here, because I'm driving those stakes and they're definitely off. I see them, they're in the perfect line here, but I think I was looking at the wrong stake there originally. So I was probably, yeah, I know, I was definitely looking at the stake to the right, which is not the stake I want to use, but right now it lines up with this cluster of trees here, so, which is not too far off from that ribbon. You might be 12, 15 feet off. So that answers my question here, but I still have two more stakes to straighten out. So I think it's good. I think it's about as best as I can get it. And 246, 247, 248, yeah, 250 feet. I'm not sure why I'm even keeping this one here, but ignore it. I have to flag these a different color so I don't get them mixed up with the stakes that I have around that are just getting the height. There we go. Now I said, what did I say? 250, 125. Looking for 160, right? 125, 35, 45, 55, 35 feet, 60. So I'm at 162 here. Let's get it right. 160. Ledge. Wow. So I'm looking for centers 125, minus 35. It's 90. Which is right here. Ledge, no question. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. It's a lot of ledge here. A lot of ledge. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do. If I'm going to go down to the ledge and anchor it to the ledge, or what I'm going to do. But I got to figure out plan of attack, because everywhere I go it's ledge. Foot down from here is ledge, foot down from there is ledge, 6 inches down from there is ledge. So it looks like the ledge is sloping this way along with the grade. So very interesting. Very interesting. All right, so 2 things we got established. Well, we got my 2 points here. Certainly don't look straight, but they're not going to be transit straight. They'll be straight enough. Got my 2 ends pretty much marked off. I just got to move that ribbon a little bit, and then corner of deck here, center of the back of the house, corner of deck. So from here I can establish the points, the corners of the house and the corners of the bump out in the front of the house. So that should be very interesting and fun. But that'll be tomorrow. How does it feel? So I'm standing in the middle of my deck, railing off to the left and to the right, and this is showing the middle. This is my view looking back. Does seem to favor the tree line to the right. I don't know if that's just a visual or what. Yeah, I think maybe where I tied off is a little deeper in over there, but it's an easy thing to do. I can shift left to right with no problem.